The Detroit Tigers have somehow found themselves with the best record in baseball, and we're 1/3 of the way into the 2025 season. The same Tigers franchise that had been stuck in mediocrity for the past decade. Now, the narrative in Detroit really began to shift about a year ago, when the team went out and won 86 games, found their way into the playoffs, swept the Houston Astros in the wild card round, and pushed the Cleveland Guardians to 5 games in the ALDS. They were 1 win away from an ALCS appearance, and that's in large part due to their Cy Young Award winner in Tarik Skubal, who this team rode until the wheels fell off. In the 7 playoff games that the Tigers had last season, Skubal started 3 of them. Of course, he started in the opener against the Houston Astros, in which the Tigers would end up winning 3-1, thanks to Tarik Skubal's pitching. He pitched the first 6 innings, only gave up a total of 4 hits, had 1 walk and 6 strikeouts, keeping the Houston Astros scoreless through the first 2/3 of that game, and thankfully the Detroit Tigers offense was able to produce 3 runs. They win game 1, then they end up winning game 2. Here comes Tarik Skubal on the mound again to pitch in game 1 versus the Cleveland Guardians, where he puts up a masterclass. If you thought his game against the Astros was good, well, this first game against the Guardians was even better, because in this outing, not only did Tarik Skubal pitch more innings, he gave up less hits and had more strikeouts. He ended up going 7 innings against the Guardians, only gave up 3 hits, and had 8 strikeouts, as the Detroit Tigers would go on to win game 1 3-0. But there's only so much Tarik Skubal could do. Then game 5 rolls around for the Cleveland Guardians versus the Detroit Tigers. It's win or go home. And of course, the Tigers are going to throw out their Cy Young Award winner in Tarik onto the mound. However, Tarik's start didn't go as well as his first 2, as he would only pitch 6 innings this go around, gave up 6 hits and 5 earned runs, along with a home run. And all of those runs that Skubal gave up was a big reason as to why the Detroit Tigers ended up losing game 5 to the Cleveland Guardians 3-7. Now, Tarik Skubal would go on to shoulder a majority of the blame for that loss. He understood that he didn't show up in the biggest of moments when his team needed him most, and came into 2025 even more motivated than the year prior. And we'll talk about his 2025 campaign in a second, but for right now, I wanted to remind you guys to slow down, like the video, and subscribe to the channel. We're under 10,000, and every subscription is greatly appreciated, so please subscribe. Now let's get back to Tarik Skubal here, who has continued to impress just about everybody around the major leagues with the numbers he's putting up this season. He has most certainly not hit a decline after winning the Cy Young, which is something that happens to a few pitchers. They'll go out, have a phenomenal season, be top 3, maybe even win the whole award, and then get their pay raise and kind of relax a little bit. That isn't what happened here with Skubal. Of course, he doesn't hit free agency until 2026. We has the potential to possibly sign a 7-year deal worth $200 million. Those are just the rumors being reported by Jeff Passan currently, but he hasn't gotten that payday yet, so he's still got to perform. And with the way that last season ended, Skubal is coming back with a vengeance in 2025, and we are witnessing it. Currently, he is just about top 10 in every major statistical category. Innings pitched, he's top 5. He's got 68 innings pitched in 11 starts, with a majority of those being very quality. And then you look at something like whip. He's number 3 in the major leagues right now with a .84 whip, and it doesn't end there. Tarik Skubal continues to impress. Strikeouts per 9 innings, he is the 2nd best in the majors with a 12.1. WAR when it comes to pitching, he's got a 2.2. That puts him top 10 when it comes to pitchers in the MLB. He has 92 strikeouts, 2nd in the majors, only behind Mackenzie Gore, who has 93. So honestly, by his next start, who knows? Tarik Skubal is probably leading the majors in strikeouts as well. Then you look at something like his ERA, 2.49. That puts him top 15, and with the innings that he's already pitched, highly impressive from a starter like Tarik Skubal. And if that isn't enough to impress you, then nothing ever will. He also has a record of 5-2. and honestly, he should have more wins to his names, but in some of his starts, the Tigers offense just hasn't produced enough, and he was robbed of a few wins. He does have some really good starts just spread out throughout the season in the 11 games that he's already pitched, and it doesn't look like he's slowing down. Now, one of Tarik Skubal's best attributes is that he has elite strikeout stuff. His changeup is a particularly devastating pitch, generating an extremely high whiff rate and strikeout rate. If you're a batter going up against the Detroit Tigers, first off, you don't want to see Tarik Skubal at all. You hope that you're playing them during his off days. But if you do have to go up against Skubal and you'll fall into a 2-strike count, you are hoping, praying that you were avoiding his changeup at all costs. But it isn't only the strikeouts that Skubal is great at. He's also managed to improve his command and control this season. He's drastically gotten a much better walk rate in 2025, demonstrating that he's got better command of his pitches. He's also on pace to potentially break the MLB record for the highest strikeout to walk ratio in a single season. Of course, we are only 1/3 of the way into the season. He's got about 20 more starts left in him, a few rough starts, and we could be talking about Tarik Skubal's season a lot differently. But I can guarantee you that isn't going to happen. One being the fact that Tarik Skubal has a bit of a deep bag, okay? He's got a lot of pitches to work with here. He's got about a 5-pitch mix, one of course being his signature changeup, which he throws the most often. But other than that, he's also got a sinker, a slider, a knuckle curve, and a nasty 4-seamer that can get up to about 112. If we're talking about a pitch with an impressive whiff rate, you gotta mention Tarik Skubal's fastball. It is almost impossible to hit along with his changeup, which is why he's been cooking in nearly every outing. Now, Tarik Skubal is a guy that can go deep into games. Hell, we saw it with his most recent game against the Cleveland Guardians, where he pitched for the entirety of it. All 9 innings, he got his first complete game of the season, and that is very impressive, more than usual, because you got to consider the state of baseball that we're in right now. Most starters only go to 6 innings max per start to kind of preserve their arms, right? It's just new technique that a lot of managers are doing. It's been trending over the last few seasons. Something that I think has ruined the game of baseball, because a team's ace will go out and ball for 7 innings. They may pitch 7 shutout innings, and the team may have a lead of about 2 or 3. But instead of letting them go out for the 8th and 9th inning to kind of finish off the game, they're going to pull their starter because their pitch count might be high. They might be in the 110s or the 120s, and they want to preserve that arm. They're thinking long term here. Thankfully, that is not how AJ Hinch thinks, and maybe he does. But Tarik Skubal was pretty efficient in this game against the Guardians, where he pitched 9 innings, had 13 strikeouts, and only gave up 2 hits. So honestly, that wasn't even something that AJ Hinch had to worry about, because Skubal's pitch count wasn't very bad in this game, and the Detroit Tigers would end up winning 5-0. That game, that performance against the Guardians is exactly why I decided to make this video, because Skubal's been amazing all year. He won the Cy Young a year ago, and then he does this complete game against the Guardians, the team he failed to beat in the divisional round. It's just poetic at this point. Now, if Skubal doesn't end up winning the Cy Young, it'll be a shame, but there are a lot of great pitchers out there who could come away with it. Every team still needs to play more than 100 games of baseball this season, so a lot can change. But what won't change is Tarik Skubal's consistency. Shout out Detroit, shout out the Tigers for what they've been able to do, and shout out Tarik Skubal for helping change the culture out there. But anyway, that's about it for this video. I think I've talked everything I wanted to about Detroit Tigers baseball. Of course, you also got great storylines within the rest of the team. Javi Baez, way to make a resurgence, but we're going to save that for another video. For right now, I'll catch y'all later. Much love. Deuces.